The year was 1960. Nestled in the heart of Germany, Pirmasens was known for its shoemaking tradition. A quiet town, where life went at its own pace. Children played in the streets, their laughter echoing through the cobblestone alleys. But this idyllic picture soon cracked, giving way to an unspeakable fear. It began with whispers, hushed conversations behind closed doors. Then, the unthinkable happened. Children started to vanish. 3 disappearances, spanning 7 long years, each case colder than the last. The dates are etched in the town's memory. 1960, 1964, 1967, each a chilling reminder of the innocence stolen. The victims, Karl, Anna, and Jakob, their laughter now silenced, their faces frozen in time on missing posters. The town held its breath, united in fear and sorrow. The question on everyone's mind, who or what was taking their children? The disappearances cast a long shadow over Pirmasens. The once vibrant town became consumed by fear. Parents clutched their children closer, their eyes scanning the shadows. The carefree laughter of childhood was replaced by a haunting silence. The disappearances left an open wound in the heart of Pirmasens, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. 8-year-old Karl loved to play hide-and-seek. His small frame, swallowed by the tall cornfields, made him the undisputed champion. The summer of 1960 was no different. He was playing near the edge of the woods, his giggles carried away by the wind.
"Coming to get you!"
he shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. He darted behind a large oak, its branches heavy with leaves. He counted, his heart pounding with anticipation. 1, 2, 3. Silence. Where were his friends? He peeked from behind the tree, his brow furrowed in confusion. The field was empty. The playful shouts had vanished, replaced by an unsettling stillness. A twig snapped behind him. He spun around, his heart racing.
"Guys, very funny,"
he called out, his voice trembling slightly. No answer. A cold hand clamped over his mouth, stifling his cry. His eyes widened in terror as he was dragged away, his small hands clawing at the air. The last thing he saw was the sun, a fading orb of light through the trees. Anna, a sweet, quiet girl of 10, loved to sing. Her voice, clear and pure, echoed through the house as she helped her mother with chores. One chilly evening in 1964, she was walking home from her friend's house. Humming a tune, she clutched a small doll to her chest. The streetlights cast long, eerie shadows as dusk settled over the town. She was just a block from home, the familiar aroma of her mother's baking bread wafting through the air. She quickened her pace, eager to share the events of her day. A sudden rustle in the bushes behind her made her stop. She turned, her doll clutched tightly in her hand.
"Hello?"
She called out, her voice small and hesitant. Silence. Just the sound of her own heart pounding in her ears. A dark figure emerged from the shadows, its face obscured. She took a step back, her voice caught in her throat. The figure lunged. The doll lay abandoned on the sidewalk, its porcelain face staring blankly up at the darkening sky. Her unfinished song lingered in the air, a haunting melody carried away by the wind. Jakob, a bright and curious boy of 12, dreamed of becoming an astronaut. He spent hours gazing at the stars, lost in his own world of celestial wonders.
One warm summer night in 1967, I was walking home from the town library, my arms laden with books about space. I was so engrossed in a book about constellations that I didn't notice the figure following me.
He reached the corner of his street, the lights of his house twinkling welcomingly in the distance. He smiled, picturing his warm bed and the adventures that awaited him in the pages of his books.
A hand clamped over his mouth, silencing his gasp of surprise. He struggled, dropping his books to the ground. His attacker was too strong.
He was dragged backwards, his feet scraping against the pavement. He caught a glimpse of his house, so close yet so far. His books lay scattered on the ground, pages fluttering in the night breeze. His dreams of space travel, of distant galaxies, were swallowed by the darkness that enveloped him. The years that followed were filled with dead ends. The police investigations, though thorough, yielded no concrete leads.
The town of Pirmasens lived under a pall of fear, the unanswered questions a heavy weight on their hearts. The monster who had taken Karl, Anna, and Jakob remained free, a phantom haunting their peaceful town.
But somewhere, in the recesses of a disturbed mind, the memories lingered. The echo of children's laughter, abruptly cut short. The feel of small hands desperately pushing away. The knowledge of their terror, a secret too heavy to bear, too monstrous to share.
The disappearances in Pirmasens remain unsolved to this day. A chilling reminder of the vulnerability of innocence and the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. The town, forever marked by this tragedy, continues to search for answers, their quest for justice echoing through the years.
Remember their names, Karl, Anna, and Jakob. Remember their stories. Don't let their voices fade into silence.